Hi friends, I am back. I'm Jessie if you haven't previously checked out my channel. I'm with Oils with Miss Jess, or you can find me on thewifelifeblog.com or on my Instagram, Oils with Miss Jess also. Today I'm here to talk to you about the basic oils that kind of everyone usually starts out with, doesn't always. Sometimes people start out with a certain ailment, so they have to start out with a certain oil. Well, the way that I personally did it, I kind of just wanted a little genre of everything, the normal everyday uses that are normal everyday oils that everyone kind of uses on a normal everyday basis, not for any specific ailments. So I'm going to kind of do it in different parts because it can take me about 45 minutes and no one wants to sit and watch me for 45 minutes. So I'm going to do it in different segments. So this is going to be video 1, and here I'm going to talk about 3 of the oils that I started out with, and I got it all in a kit. So 3 of these oils are lavender, lemon, and peppermint. These 3 combos are a wonderful allergy combination, and you can check out my video for seasonal allergies for these 3. But I'm gonna talk about them in separately. That's what I mean. Anyways, I'm gonna start with lavender. So doTERRA's lavender comes from the mountains of France, and the reason they got it from France is because they wanted to have every oil they got from the place that those plants originated, so that they're the purest form and so that they're the most potent. So lavender, what I use lavender for the most for me is my oldest little boy is really allergic to mosquitoes. And so every time he gets a mosquito, he even knows, he's 5, almost 6 now, he knows to run in, and he runs in and says, "Mom, I need oil, I got a mosquito bite." So I just take off my top, dab my finger on it. I don't even need really a full drop. Dab my finger on it and rub it on where the mosquito is. You don't really need to dilute this with a carrier oil. You can use it just neat. You can do it with just the oil itself. Some people have a sensitivity to lavender. I've met very, very, very few people that have a sensitivity to this lavender. It's worth a try. If you are sensitive to lavender and such things as lotions and stuff that you've tried, it's usually not the purest form such as this oil. So I would try this oil before you don't use it for that certain reason, thinking you may be allergic to it. And you still might. If your skin is sensitive to it, try using a coconut oil and almond oil and olive oil, and that would be your carrier oil to help dilute the intensity and the stinging of it. But generally people don't even feel anything when this is on their skin. It's just nice and soothing. Another thing that I use this for is burns. You know, when your child or yourself, you get that dang burn from the oven, from the curling iron, from any kind of burn, I just apply it the same way that I just showed you to apply it for the mosquito bite or a bee sting. So for the burn, I would just apply it, and if it's a large area, I would use the carrier oil so that you increase your surface area. The carrier oil will not dilute or decrease the potency of the lavender, but it will help you cover a higher surface area. So even a sunburn, I would take about a teaspoon of coconut oil, because I usually use coconut oil for my carrier, and then put about 3 or 4 drops depending on the area that you're trying to cover. Like your back usually is the biggest place that you usually get a sunburn on. And then just wipe the whole back with the coconut oil and the lavender. And then I would also add in some peppermint to soothe that burn. And the lavender will help so the skin doesn't separate, so you don't blister, and it will help the skin not to peel if you do it quickly. And if it's been a day and you still have a sunburn, or you find somebody that has one that needs to heal, you can still use it. It probably will still peel if you don't do it quickly, but it won't be as bad. Lavender is also wonderful for anxiety or help sleeping. So it's really good to rub on the bottom of your feet, or you can put it in a spray bottle, such as this. You want a glass spray bottle because any essential oil eats toxins. So you don't want to put it in a plastic bottle, which is made of plastic, which is a toxin. So you want it to be in a glass bottle. So I would put this, I'd fill it up with water and put 15 drops of lavender in it. And then you can just spritz your sheets or the room that maybe your kids are in and they just are wound up. You can put it in their room at night so they can just help sleep better, or you can apply a couple drops to their feet or your feet at night. And it really helps you have that nice deep sleep and calm down. When I'm having a bad day or I have some anxiety, I don't even take any out of the bottle. I just smell it. You ever had somebody walk into the room and they have this perfume on and you think back to, oh, that's 8th grade. Oh, I wore that perfume in 8th grade. I wore that perfume in high school, or so-and-so wore that perfume. It's the sensories in your brain, in your olfactory system, that's being triggered by that smell and triggering your memory. So the smell of an essential oil is just as strong as the application of it or the ingestion of it. So you can take lavender if you need to ingest it for other reasons. I don't typically ingest lavender unless it's for my allergy pills to help soothe my my allergy symptoms, because it's an antihistamine also. So like I said previously, like a bee sting. So you get a bee sting, I would rub it right directly on where the affected area is to soothe that, and also the burn too. My little boy one time when he had a burn, he touched my glue gun, and I thought he had a little dab of hot glue on his finger, but it wasn't. It was a blister. It was an immediate blister. And I told my husband, I said, hurry, grab my lavender. We put the lavender on and literally watch the blister disappear. Literally. You can take my word for it, or you can just try it yourself when something happens. But I love lavender. It's so hard to deal with when your little child has a burn and they can't hold an ice cube. Don't have to apply ice to it. You can apply lavender, and there's a couple other oils that you can work with the burn, but the basic ones for basic burn, you want to go with lavender. The same little boy happened to grab my curling iron when it was hot one day. I promise I watch my kids. But anyways, grabbed my curling iron, so the whole palm of his hand was burned. And it was right when I had just been introduced. I had a couple samples of the oils, and I had lavender, and so I slathered his hand with it, and immediately it soothed it, and he did not have even a remnant of evidence of the burn. So that kind of sold me. That was one of my first stories that sold me on essential oils. Okay, let me read my notes and make sure there's nothing I forgot. I don't think so. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about is lemon. And lemon comes from Italy. Like I said, it's indigenous to Italy, lemon trees. And so it's the most potent there. And it's originates from there. Lemon, the main thing I use lemon for is I put it in my water bottle every day. And like I said, you want to try to make sure you have either a glass bottle, an aluminum bottle, or if you do have a glass jug, make sure on the bottom it has that little triangle and it has the number in between in it. If it's a number of 7 or greater, then the lemon won't eat the toxins in it. It won't eat the plastic. So you're okay to do that. So my water bottle, I have a Nalgene bottle, and the plastic is just fine for that. And so, but most of the time I use my aluminum or my glass drinking bottles. And my water bottle is probably at 24 ounces, and I just use 2 drops in there. And so I drink that a couple times a day. You can use lemon also. It's really good. It's a good diuretic. It's really good to cleanse your body. It's wonderful to cleanse your body. It's good to clean out your kidneys, your liver, and just a nice daily cleanse. Anything else I can think of? Lemon is obviously a citrus oil. So anything citrus is a good mood elevator. So I also put this on my vacuum filter, right on the filter. I just drop about 5 or 6 drops. And as I'm vacuuming my house, then I'm able to fill the whole house with that aroma, the lemon aroma. It just smells so clean and nice and fresh. And especially with it being springtime, spring was yesterday, it helps with the spring cleaning and just the freshness of everything that you want. And it's wonderful in the winter too, because you want that springtime, but you don't have it, so it's nice to use just to help elevate the mood. I put this on my kid, in my little boy's water, because he takes a little mug to work or to school every day, just to help keep him going, and it gives him some energy. So let me think if there's anything else I can think of with the lemon. No, we'll move on to peppermint. So peppermint's my next one in the kit that I suggest, and this comes from Washington, the state of Washington here in the US. The peppermint is also wonderful to help with burns, the soothing of it, not really the repair of it, but the soothing of it. Peppermint, people think pepper, so they think hot. Think peppermint is cool, cool to the touch. all doTERRA obviously is wonderful. You can get peppermint everywhere, but I prefer doTERRA's brand. I actually prefer the smell of this brand of peppermint to most of the peppermints I've used. So you can use it for the burn. You can actually put the lavender and the peppermint in a water bottle, and you can fill up the spray bottle and you can put equal parts of the peppermint and the lavender. If it's on a burn that's really sensitive and you don't want to rub it with your hand because it's too sensitive for that, you can just spray it and then get the same surface area. And it's wonderful to help soothe and alleviate the pain of the burn. Peppermint, the thing that sold me with the peppermint is I had a really bad headache one day, and I had a neighbor lady who got me started with the oils. She gave me a little sample of peppermint, and I'm not a headache person. I don't get headaches hardly ever, but I just rubbed the peppermint on my forehead, my temples, and the back of my neck, like she had told me if I ever get a headache, and immediately, within, well, I shouldn't say immediately, probably 20 seconds, my headache was gone, totally and completely gone. And like I say, I don't get headaches very often. I'm not a migraine person. I don't have really a neurological problem where I get migraines a lot. So peppermint works for me. Peppermint will work for a lot of people. But if you have a more serious problem, I would add some frankincense with it and maybe some lavender to help soothe and relax whatever's going on to cause that headache. Peppermint is also really wonderful to open up your airways. It's a really good decongestant, so you can put it in the palms of your hands, rub them together, and just breathe it in and help open up your airways or your nasal passages. Oh, it's really wonderful for calming your stomach too. Love this. So pregnant women, wonderful. In the first couple of stages of your pregnancy, you usually have a lot of morning sickness. You could either take a couple drops and rub them on the back of your earlobes. I know it sounds weird, but it works. Or you can put it on your tummy, or you can just put a drop on your tongue, and it helps to really soothe that nausea and upset stomach. Or in a child usually doesn't want to ingest that, which is fine. I recommend doTERRA's for ingestion, but with a child it's really hard to get them to do that sometimes. So I would just take, I take coconut oil when I use peppermint on my children because it makes the skin kind of that icy hot, that cool, makes it really, really cold. And so for my children, I use the peppermint and I use a carrier oil with it so that it doesn't cause any coldness on them because they hate the coldness. Oh, at least my oldest does. And it will really soothe an upset tummy. And like menstrual cramps, when you get that upset, just sick, nasty feeling with your cramps, wonderful to rub on your tummy. Headaches, stomach, let me see, what else? Oh, I'm sorry, with children, mothers, you will love peppermint for a fever. Instead of Tylenol, you can use peppermint. Take a couple drops and rub it on, I suggest their spine. You can rub it on their feet, you can rub it anywhere you really want to. The spine is a really good place to absorb because it has all the cerebral fluid that goes out to the body. And it gets into the lymphatic system that goes out to the body. So you want to rub it on the back, and I would do it with like I said, a carrier oil just to get a bigger surface area. And that helps to calm and cool them down and to calm the fever. Sometimes it takes you 3 or 4 applications every 10 minutes to try to break that fever. Sometimes it's not immediate with the first one. Oils, a lot of times you need repetition and you need dedication. Instead of popping a really, really strong pill or a really strong Tylenol. I have nothing against Tylenol. My kids have Tylenol every once in a while when they really need it, or I don't have time to use the peppermint over and over and over. But if you do have the time, it's a really, really good way to relieve that fever for you or your family. And on the back of your neck is really good for you if you have the fever. You feel a fever coming on with a cold or a strep throat. I'm sorry if I've missed anything with these 3 oils. I'm going to try to read my comments underneath my description of the video, and if I miss anything, I will try to put it in there. Also, check my blog out, and I will be covering these soon, also with this video, and I'll put in some notes in there in case I forgot anything. So thanks for listening, and I will finish with the rest of the kit that I purchased on the next video. Listen later and leave any comments in the comments below and let me know if you have any more questions or any comments. I would love to hear them. Thanks, see you later.